Going on, guys? Back with another gun of the week. I did skip last week. Forgive me. Been sick. I think everyone's been sick. It's just going around. But I'm starting to feel better and back at it. So we'll jump right into this week's gun of the week. I got a really good one to make it up for missing last week. So hopefully you guys like it. Another rifle build. So it is empty, safe, nothing in the weapon. Gotta take the mag out. All right. Now that that's out of the way, let's talk about it. Front to back, tip to butt. You know how I like it. Anyway. All right. So we'll start from the front. And what we got here is a Yankee Hill Machine Turbo K. It's the K model, so it's the short version. It's only about, I think, four and a half to under 5. It's either 4.75 or 4.5 because I have the Kurtz adapter, which is even the shorter adapter. I do have it sitting slightly recessed within the rail. It's not completely recessed. I know some people like the integrally suppressed or fully integral suppressor, but I'm going to tell you right now, have you ever shot a rifle that's fully integrally suppressed, meaning that the suppressor is fully within the rail on the inside? You ever shot it and tried to hold on to it? It gets hot. It gets really hot. You can't even hold on to it. So yeah, I chose to keep it just maybe, you know, a quarter or a third integral underneath the rail, and then the rest of it sticking out the front. That way most of the heat is forward, out, and away from my hand. But the Yankee Hill Turbo K, one of the best suppressors for the money. It's relatively cheap in the realm of suppressors, but there's no sound. That's not good. I had someone just tell me that there's no sound. Anyone else that's watching, can you hear me? Anybody else can hear me, just drop a comment. Make sure that you can hear what I'm saying. Yes, there is. Okay, cool. Thank you. I guess there is sound. Anyway, moving on, going back. So, yeah, again, for the money, it's for a budget suppressor or a relatively cost-effective suppressor. They are fantastic. The decibel reading is about 140 or something like that, but maybe even 139. But it's pretty good for a short suppressor. Moving on. We'll go with I have a IR and visible laser and illuminator. It's a relatively new company, or maybe it's new to me, but I couldn't afford some of the crazy expensive options, so it's called Laser Speed. They're a pretty good company, all aluminum bodied. It does have a visible laser. It has an IR laser and an IR illuminator. It's pretty high power for the money. You know, obviously it's not military high power, but it's definitely more than high powered enough for civilian application, or even law enforcement or combat application. It definitely does the job. All of the IR and illuminator settings are all within the one housing here. It takes a CR123 battery there, and again, it's aluminum bodied. It does have a touch activation on the top. It has its multiple options on the back here. You can go Viz, IR, illuminator only, and both IR illuminator and laser illuminator, or laser IR. I have that running off of a Unity Axon mount, so it's a dual mount. It has a pressure button here and then a pressure button here. So the reason I like these a lot, as you might have seen from my one of my first videos on my work rifle, I like them to be very, very different so I don't confuse them in the dark or without looking. So I know that the button that's on the 45-degree angle is going to be my flashlight or my white light, and then I know that the flat button is always going to be my laser and or illuminator. So I do like that option, just to keep them separate but close together. Okay. On short-barreled rifles, this is an 11.5-inch SIG M400. I probably should have started the video out with that, but it's a SIG M400 build, and you run out of space real quick on the rail. So I like them. I like it nice and compact. Surefire Scout. It does have the KM2 head on it. So what that means is I can twist the head on this and put it into an IR illumination. And I had that because I did not have this for a long time. I just had a regular Viz laser, so I chose that to have IR capability, but it still works great for white light, good candela, all that good stuff. Underneath is just Magpul angled foregrip. Nothing special. And then my Fab Defense hand stop. And ran the wire around it, keeps it nice and out of the way. But again, the way I used my hand stop, the reason why it's on the side is because when I grab my rifle, I use my hand, I put that white right in the webbing of my hand, and I'm able to clamp down on it. And it helps me control recoil a lot, and it helps me transition targets quickly. And so that's how I use that. Keep a finger in front. So moving back, I have just a sling holder. It's just I don't even know who does it. It's on Amazon. They're super cheap. Nothing but a strap with a magnet inside of it to hold it down. So Frank Proctor sling, way of the gun. Same sling on all my other rifles. Again, keep everything relatively the same. Coming back here on the optic setup, I have a AimPoint. It's a Micro T1, the older T1. And I have it on a Unity fast mount. So the reason for the fast mount or the higher mount is mainly so I can clear the laser on the front. With a regular 1/3 or a co-witness riser, it's too short, and all I see is my hand and this in my optic view. So it makes it harder to, blocks your view. Not a good thing if you need to identify what you're shooting at. So I went with the Unity Fast Riser to get that up high and out of the way. And as long as you understand your mechanical offset or your height over bore, it doesn't matter how high this is, you can adjust, or you can adjust for it. It also helps being higher off the gun when you are running nods or night vision or a gas mask, something like that. So again, just keeping all my training and all my stuff the same. Let's see. Ooh, this is a good one. So my charging handle, it is a Silencer Co. I'm going to get it right. I got to get it right here. Hold on, I wrote it down. It is a Silencer Co. GDCH, gas defeating charging handle. So it's a Silencer Co. gas defeating charging handle. Whenever you run a suppressor on a direct impingement gun, there tends to be a lot of gas that shoots out of the ejection port, as well as in between your charging handle and the upper receiver. That gas shoots into your face. It makes it hard to see, makes it annoying, and it also, you're breathing that in, it's not good. So what this does on the underside of this, right in between, I can't really show you, but right in between the bottom of the charging handle and the receiver, there's a rubber gasket, and the gasket closes or seals the gap between the receiver and the charging handle, and it also fully encapsulates the top there. So you can see there's a big cutaway here, and it completely seals that. So that does help prevent the gas from going up into my face. So I saw it online, I read some reviews on it, I watched some stuff on YouTube, it looked pretty cool, so I figured I'd try it, and it does work. I'll tell you, for a suppressed direct impingement gun, this charging handle does work. It keeps the gas out of my face. It doesn't really bother me shooting this gun. This is the older Turbo K, so it's not the RB or the reduced blowback, so this is the I guess the first gen of it, and yeah, I still don't have any issue shooting this weapon, so good on Silencer Co. Aero Precision Nickel Boron Bolt Carrier Group. So nickel boron is just the coating or the finish that's on there. I like it because it's a self-lubricating metal. You can run it really hot, really dirty, and it's not going to get super, what's the word? I don't know the word. Someone tell me the word. But basically, it's not going to get a lot of friction. The heat and the friction can help slow that down, or can cause that to slow down. as well as the dirt and all the stuff that gets in there. This is a self-lubricating metal, so it's less likely to succumb to heat and friction. So it's going to run longer, increase reliability. And if you have not shot a gas impingement gun with a suppressor, damn, it gets dirty quick. So just my preference to run nickel boron. On the lower here, I have a, this is a Radian. It is a 45-degree throw, so this is my selector lever, and it just allows me to go from safe to fire. Usually they go 90 degrees. I like the 45 degrees or 50 degrees, whatever, and it's just easier for me to manipulate. I do a lot of manipulation of my selector lever as I do CQB and stuff like that, or at least when I train, so I like to have that nice and short. Geissele SSA Super Semi-Automatic Trigger. Again, best triggers in my opinion for the AR platform. Love them. Just a Magpul stock, nothing fancy. I believe this is the CTR stock. Nice and light. And that's really about it. Oh, then actually, no. The last thing is it's a B5 pistol grip. So B5, the biggest difference from like the Magpuls and stuff is this has a more 1911 or neutral straight down angle for your wrist. So if you have a handle that has an extreme inflection or an extreme degree of cant, when you're holding the rifle, your elbow is just, your wrist is just bent in a really weird way, and it tends to hurt after a while. So what this does is this keeps my wrist at a more natural angle, and it doesn't hurt as much. So I changed it a couple of years ago to the B5, and I love the B5 stuff, so I changed that in all my rifles as well. And that's it. That's my build. I got a couple of, I don't know, maybe I would say 5,000 rounds on this, and it has been flawless. Oh, you know what? I did forget one thing that I did change. So this is the Griffin Armarment, or Griffin Armarment, however you want to say it. It is the SR-Rigid rail system in an M-lock. So the reason I changed the rail was to accommodate the spacing to allow the suppressor to sit within the rail itself, and then you want it extremely rigid and not to move at all, because my optic here, or excuse me, my laser is my backup sights. So I have my main optical sight here. If this goes down, this breaks, something ever happens to it, there is a backup sight within it. I don't know if you'll be able to see it, but one of the cool things about the Unity mount is it does come with integrated backup sights within it. But if that all fails, my laser is also sighted in for me to shoot with just the laser. So I can turn my visible laser on, and I can use that as an aiming device. So you don't want this to flex or move with all this stuff on top. So it's very important that it stays rigid and it does not move to affect your zero for your laser. So I promise that's it now. I don't run backup sights or backup iron sights. Don't need them. No room for them. Can't put a front sight on there. Like I said, I got backup sights in here if I need. I have this as a backup sight. And then the aim points are pretty bulletproof. I mean that figuratively, obviously, but they work. I've never had an aim point fail me. They're awesome. As long as you take care of your equipment, it'll take care of you. That was a lot, I know. But all right, that's the gun of the week for this week. Couple of shameless plugs for myself. February 15th, I have a dynamic pistol course coming up. It's going to be in Okeechobee Shooting Sports. It's going to be a fun time. We're going to do a lot of pistol work. We're really going to focus on taking pistol skills to the next level, as far as, you know, your draw speed, reload speed, your movement, shooting while moving. We're going to mock up a USPSA stage. We're going to run the stage. We're going to talk about efficiency. We're going to talk about exits and entrances into position, all that good stuff. So if that's something you'd be interested in, come on out. Let me know. Visit my website, www.oneshotdefense.us. Skill level doesn't matter all that much. As long as you are competent in shooting and you can be safe with it, you can slow down and do everything that everyone else is doing, just at your own pace. I'm a big proponent of, whether you're a master or grandmaster level shooter or a relatively new shooter, you can benefit from these courses. Don't be intimidated by thinking that, oh, everyone's going to be better than me. This is where you go to get better. So don't be afraid to come out and help me, or let me help you get spun up on your pistol skills. I'll have a lot of cool stuff out there. I'm getting some swag in. Kill your clone. I know it's backwards because I'm using my phone, but hopefully you get it. If you don't know what kill your clone mean, obviously it's got a double meaning for the clone for the stormtroopers, as well as a more philosophical meaning, but we'll get into that. I also got some other prizes up for the course, so yeah, if that's something you're interested in, check me out. Other than that, I will see you guys next week for Gun of the Week. Take care.